When setting up a behaviour support plan type, it's important to note that this plan type is built on a risk template. To use a risk template for a behaviour support plan might seem a little odd at first, but when we take a look inside, it will become much clearer. Notice again that this top section is the same for all plan types, and when setting up a behaviour support plan for your school, you'll need to make appropriate selections here. Remember to click Save when you're done. As with other plan types, you can add further sections and details as necessary, but each plan template also has some content built in, and this is particularly the case with a risk template. Notice here that we have what are called risk management lists. Each list has a number of items, and it's these items that can be edited and decided upon by your school. A behaviour support plan uses these risk management lists. You'll see that more clearly when we assign a student to a behaviour support plan. Below the risk management lists is where further sections and their corresponding details can be added. If you've watched other videos on setting up plan types, you'll be familiar with this functionality, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Going back to risk management lists, let's see what this is all about. Each of these lists contains a number of items. For example, in behaviour types, there are currently 21 items listed. This list can be developed by your school and edited as necessary by adding or removing items. In this example, this list represents various behaviour types and shows them in alphabetical order. This column indicates whether additional information can be entered, and you can change that setting by clicking the Edit button and selecting Yes here. And we'll see what that looks like in just a moment. Going back one screen, you can see that the next risk management list follows the same structure, and in this list, we're recording behaviour purposes. The same functionality for additional information is available in this list. In fact, it's the same for all the lists. Going back to the first one, if I wanted to add an item, simply click the Add Item button, enter the name, make the appropriate selection, and then click Save. Now, this only really makes sense if you see this being applied to a real student. So let's try that now and see what a behaviour support plan looks like with the sample risk management lists that we have in this example, and no further sections or details added. Firstly, let's make a new behaviour support plan. I could just work off the built-in plan type, but I'll go through the process of making a new one here, just in case you needed to make a specific behaviour support plan for a specific student. I'll enter New BSP. Make appropriate selections in this top section, ensuring of course that I select Risk as the template. I'll leave this part down here for the moment. And then assign this plan to a student. As with other plan types, this top section with contact information will be the same. The plan details will also be the same, allowing me to specify the creation date, add people that were consulted with to develop this plan, and note any background and interests or other additional information. Moving down, you can start to see the risk management lists appear and the items they contain. Remember how I noted the additional information? That's represented by these spaces here where further text can be entered. As I move down further, you can see more risk management lists and their items appear. So when creating a plan for this student, I simply need to tick the appropriate boxes, add additional information when necessary, include plan resolution details, and then click Save. To make this really obvious, I'll split the screen and show you the plan as it's being applied to the student, and the risk management lists that you see in the Setup section for plans. The reason why I'm showing you this is because in the Setup section for plans, the risk management lists are shown with their names only. In the actual plan creation, the names of each list are rephrased as a question. For example, Behaviour Types is shown as Behaviour Types. However, Behaviour Purposes is rephrased as what is the purpose of the behaviour? Likewise, Behaviour Triggers is rephrased as what can trigger this behaviour? It's helpful to keep this in mind as you're working with risk management lists and the items that you create within them. Moving right to the bottom, you can see that there are no extra sections that have been added to this plan. To add more sections, I need to go back to Plans Setup and add further sections as necessary. Let's just quickly go back and look at that. Notice that in my new Behaviour Support Plan, or new BSP, the inbuilt content is not shown. I only have the option here to add new sections and details as per my requirements. As an example, I'll add academic acceleration. Now I'll add in a couple of details. Note that I can use different types for the details, allowing simple choices like yes and no, or yes-no with text, or single and multiple selections. Using these extra sections and details, I can ensure that I create the best and most useful behaviour support plan. Remember again that the risk management lists can be edited and expanded to suit your local requirements. Exactly what these are will be determined by your school's policies and administration.